When I was growing up, I was by all accounts a Pokemon kid. I had Pokemon-themed birthdays, slept on Pokemon bedsheets, and in the 2nd grade, I spent every recess running around pretending to be Charizard. Yeah, but the deeper I delved into this fantasy world, the more I wanted new ways to play the game, and that's when I started doing challenge runs. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I really enjoy doing Nuzlockes, but the first challenge run that I actually did when I was a kid was a solo run of Pokemon Firered with a Squirtle that I named Koopas. So in honor of that weird kid on the playground from 16 years ago, I've decided to revisit that challenge, but this time with an actual rule set. I will still be using Koopa the Squirtle, but if at any point in the run Koopa faints, I will reset. I am not allowed to use items in battle, and I'm not allowed to battle any wild Pokemon in this run. All of the experience that I earn will come from trainer battles. My biggest challenges in this run were the early rival fights and poison damage, so just to give you a little recap of my previous attempts' deaths, they were in order due to poison, poison, rival, poison, rival, poison, rival, and poison. That brings me to my 9th and best attempt so far. I begin in Pallet Town, where I meet my only encounter for the run, a Squirtle, of course, named Koopa. With Koopa, I can take out Nevo, my rival, and proceed to the Viridian Forest, where I've already lost 3 attempts, but by now I know what trainers have what Pokemon, so I skip past the trainer that's the biggest threat and move on to Brock's gym. I go in a little bit underleveled, but Brock's Geodude and Onix are super slow, and water guns are super duper effective. Mount Moon is pretty easy, and the next big fight is with my rival. There's one previous wipe to this fight because of Bulbasaur's sleep powder, but this time around I'm able to come out with a pretty clean victory. I finish off Nugget Bridge and the rest of the trainers on the routes north of Cerulean City. Also while I'm up here, I help Bill transition from Pokemon to human, which is kind of a weird thing to put in a children's game, but whatever. I kind of forgot how much the game opens up after the first gym, because once you get the SSN ticket, you can skip the 2nd gym and just head straight for the boat. But I decide that since Koopa is at such a high level, I'll go ahead and fight Misty, and I made the right decision here. It was a pretty easy fight. By the time I get to my rival fight on the boat, Koopa has already evolved into Blastoise, so he's able to one-shot every single one of Nevo's Pokemon except for Ivysaur, which isn't much of a threat. Instead of challenging the 3rd gym, I backtrack to Cerulean City where I can access Rock Tunnel on the eastern side of Kanto. In order to reach Rock Tunnel though, you need a Pokemon with Cut, and I must be the luckiest person on the planet because my very real cartridge of Pokemon Firered that I'm playing on had a special level 1 Persian with Cut, Strength, Flash, and Fly already in the PC. After adding this special event Persian to my party, I can use it as a chainsaw and use it to light up Rock Tunnel. Once I get to Lavender Town, I decide to skip my fight with my rival in the Pokemon Tower and head west to Celadon City. Here, I am able to cleanse the town of a local gang that has taken up residence in their casino. Giovanni here goes down to a few water guns and bites, and then forgets the Silph Scope on the floor. With Koopa in the 40s, I finally feel comfortable taking on Lieutenant Surge, and after spending entirely too long trying to solve a puzzle designed for 10-year-olds, he goes down to 3 digs. With the help of that Silph Scope that I got from Giovanni, I can head to the Pokemon Tower where I bite my way through Nevo's team, and then defeat a defenseless mother for the 2nd time. At this point, I have access to every remaining route in the game except for Victory Road and the routes you need Surf for, so I just spend a ton of time here making sure that I milk all of the experience I can from the trainers on the Cycling Road and the routes east of Fuchsia City. While I'm taking out these trainers on stream, this happens. Oh, I'm getting a phone call right now. Let's see what this is all about. I think that somebody's probably trying to play disc golf with me. I was right. It was somebody wanting to play disc golf. And because I hadn't seen the sunlight that day, I did go play disc golf. I've got sweat in my eyes. It's pretty good. With all that training on and off stream, Koopa manages to get to level 60 for my fight with Erica, and it's a clean sweep with Ice Beam. But as a lifelong fan of the franchise, it would be remiss of me not to point out the creepy dude peeking in through the windows outside of the gym. Naturally, I join in. After hanging out with my new friend in Celadon, I can head over to Saffron City for my fights with Nevo and Giovanni in the Silphco building. Nevo goes down to 3 ice beams, a bite, and a surf, and Giovanni gets taken out with just a few surfs. Since I'm already in Saffron, I decide to fight the gyms out of order. Sabrina gets destroyed by super effective bites. Next, I head over to Fuchsia for my fight with Koga, and while I'm in his gym, I do hit a pretty big milestone. Oh, we're almost at the funny number. Nice. I give a Petra Berry to Blastoise and then click Surf a few times. With my newly obtained ability to use Surf outside of battle, I can finish off the trainers surrounding the Seafoam Islands, and upon arriving on Cinnabar Island, I find that the door to Blaine's gym is locked. So I head over to the burned down mansion next door to look for a key, but were him and his gym trainers just locked in there? And for how long? Who cares? Blaine's whole team falls to super effective surfs, and I lock the door behind me. With 7 badges, the last thing I need to do before challenging the Pokemon League is fight the Mystery Man 8th gym leader, who ends up being Giovanni. What an insane plot twist. Although, I'm pretty sure that when I was a kid and playing this game, I didn't make the connection that this Giovanni and Team Rocket's Giovanni were the same person. I know it would have blown my mind if I had, but not only was I a child, I was a really dumb child. Giovanni, for the 4th time in this game, goes down to a few surfs, and with the 8th gym badge, it's time for the Elite Four. I take out Nevo on my way to Victory Road, and then enter the Pokemon League. The first member of the Elite Four is Ice-type user Lorelei. She leads Dugong, who goes down to a single Brick Break. Cloyster comes in and survives a Brick Break, but she just spams full restores and protects, trying to delay her death until it falls. Slowbro and Jinx both go down to a Bite, leaving her final Pokemon, Lapras. It survives a Brick Break and lands a Confuse Ray, which is potentially devastating because status moves are so powerful against me. Good thing I have a Lumberry. One more Brick Break and the first member of the Elite Four is down. Bruno is next, but Koopa uses Surf 5 times for the win. I guess that makes sense because it is level 88. On to Agatha, who suffers a similar fate. Who knew having a level 88 Blastoise would just decimate Pokemon in the mid-50s. The final member of the Elite Four, Lance, awaits. I begin the battle by firing off an Ice Beam into his bulky Gyarados. It survives with a little under half health while Koopa shakes off a weak Dragon Rage, but Koopa then uses Ice Beam 5 more times to claim the title of Kanto Champion. But wait, another challenger awaits? My rival? Nevo? This was another major plot twist that I don't remember being surprised by as a kid, and now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure it was because I was playing the games with those unofficially licensed game guides. Regardless, it's time now for the final fight of the game. I lead Blastoise into his Pidgeot and take it out with a single Ice Beam. Venusaur also goes down to a single Ice Beam. And you might be surprised to see that Alakazam actually doesn't survive a bite. Rhydon also doesn't survive a Surf, who'd have thought. Gyarados comes in, and to add insult to injury, my Ice Beam freezes. I take it out with one more Ice Beam after he's unable to get off a single shot, and that leaves him with his final Pokemon, Arcanine, who does manage to connect with an extreme speed, but Blastoise is full health and level 90, so that's the end of my challenge. I had a ton of fun reliving this bit of my childhood, and I hope you enjoyed watching if you made it this far. Throw me a like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. But that's all I have for you. Bye.